Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing something quite different than what I've been doing lately. You guys know I've been doing a lot of tutorials lately. So I decided I wanted to do a video, kind of like what I think you should buy, what I think you should skip, kind of just talking about like new things coming out and my opinion on them and whether I think they're worth buying or skipping. And this is going to be just kind of my opinion and whether pretty much if I'm going to buy them or skip them, but also kind of giving opinions on whether I think you guys should buy them or skip them. So I did ask you guys if you wanted this video in one of my previous videos, and I got quite a few people saying they did want me to do this. So here we are, and let's do this. Do want to start out this video saying if you like my makeup today, I did an IGTV video on this makeup look. So if you want to see how I did this, then go check out my Instagram and you can see how I did it. Okay, so I'm just going to be going off of Trend Moods page and what she's got going on here, and then kind of giving my opinion based on what she's posted as like new things coming out. Okay, so first one here is the Tati Beauty palette. So the day I'm filming this is the day, Friday, the day that this palette comes out, and I will be skipping this. I just don't need it, first of all. I don't watch Tati, and you guys know I mentioned this I think in my Jackie Aina video when I reviewed her palette. It's kind of like, unless I have like a super personal connection to someone, say I have a really personal connection to someone who maybe I followed for a while or I really love their videos. If I have a personal connection to them, I'll tend to buy it just because it's theirs, because I want to support them, because I like them. Second, so say I don't really like the person, I don't watch them. If I like the color story and I think it's unique, I'll buy it even if I don't like them, as long as the color story is good and it's unique and it's good quality. And so for me, this is a double whammy of I don't really watch her videos and I don't really need the palette because it's all neutrals. So this was a double whammy of a no, I'm not going to buy this. It's like cute and stuff, but I think for me, one of the things that kind of I'm confused about, and I've seen swatches, but I'm kind of like, is, okay, so she's got, if you notice in the palette, let me see if I can kind of zoom in on it. I'll just put a picture here where, you know, there's the sequin formula and then the matte. And to me, as someone who has a lot of makeup and has tried a lot of things, the sequin looks like those shadows and from swatches that are like kind of a matte base, and then it has just glitter flecks running through it. But my experience with those kind of eyeshadows is as soon as you start blending them on your eye, they just look like a matte eyeshadow. Like you can't really see the flecks anymore unless you just pack it on and then just don't touch it and don't blend it. You know what I'm saying? And so in my opinion, it's sort of weird that like a lot of the colors, you know, they're like very similar between the matte and the sequin, you know? And to me, knowing how those kind of glittery matte formulas work, if when I blend out the sequin formula, it's most likely going to be matte. And I don't know this, I'm assuming this, okay? But from my, you know, experience, if when I blend out the sequin formula, it's going to probably look mostly matte anyway, but then the matte color is almost exactly the same as the sequin color, then I feel like those two colors are going to look exactly the same. Does that make sense to you guys? I just feel like those two bottom rows are going to end up looking too similar for me to, you know what I'm saying, to want to get that, because I feel like there's two rows of colors that are going to end up looking like exactly the same color. You know what I'm saying? So that's also kind of part of it. It's just not for me. Like I said, I don't watch Tati. I've seen a couple of her videos. Like I watched, you know, the whole drama last year that happened, or a couple months ago that happened with like James Charles and her, whatever. But I don't think I'm subscribed to her, and I don't watch her ever, really. So I have no reason to want to buy the palette. I mean, I'm sure it's nice. Everyone seems to like it. So far that's gotten it. I've seen a couple, like I watched Allie Glines do a review on it. Or at least I watched half of it, and then I was like, meh, that's just not, it doesn't interest me. I'm sure it's nice, but it's just not for me. Okay, next, this CVS exclusive Physicians Formula Rosé All Day palette. It's just kind of like, again, you guys know I'm trying not to buy anything that's very redundant. And this is sort of like a boring neutral palette with some rosy tones. I have like the Kat Von D Lolita palette, which is like a matte rosy color, so that's that. Okay, next, oh my God. Okay, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lash Collection. Did you guys not, when you saw this, think to yourself that these just look like they're just kind of like some synthetic lashes. I don't know, they kind of bore me. Okay, so first of all, I don't really love any of the styles. The only style that I look at when looking at this picture and I really like is this like top one in the top corner, but it literally looks like Ardell Demi Wispies in a synthetic version. Like it's literally the exact same kind of pattern. So for me, I mean, I think the price point is good, 12 bucks. That's pretty good for like a high-end company's lashes, you know, especially when you think of like, you know, Lily lashes and things like that. But I don't know, none of the styles appeal to me at all. And I think the packaging is really basic for ABH, like to just be in little basic boxes with a basic clear lash tray. I think they could have done a little more. And I don't know, they're just not something that I'm like super wowed about. So I'm gonna skip those. I also feel like from the pictures I've seen so far, they look very like synthetic-y, plasticky. So not something that interests me. Oh my God, I'm saying no to everything already. I feel like I'm being so negative. I don't want to be negative, but I am kind of you guys know, I tend to not like buy into new stuff unless it's something I'm like really excited about or it's someone's made it that I really love and then I'll get into it. You guys know I end up getting really late to most shit, so this should not be surprising. Okay, Artist Couture glosses. No, I don't really get, I don't have anything from his collection. I've never been super wowed by his stuff, and I'm not a lip gloss person, so lip glosses are like a never thing for me. I don't like go out of my way to buy new lip glosses. So Jeffree Star Shane Dawson collection. So this is gonna be a no for me. Again, sorry, these are all no's, but I don't buy, well, I do buy makeup. I don't know, I buy like little things here and there, like when I'm in a store. I don't know, you guys know I'm not big on like always getting something new when it, like right when it launches. That's not me, I don't know. So Jeffree Star Shane Dawson. For this one for me is a no because I've actually don't know that I've never watched Shane Dawson. I'm not subscribed to him. When this whole like thing started with him and Shane Dawson, like last year they did videos together. I don't think I watched any of them, or I might have watched like part of one. I don't really remember. His new series this year, I watched like the first one halfway and then I haven't watched any of the other ones. Until last year I didn't know who Shane Dawson was. Didn't know what he did. Maybe that's like in a generation a little younger than me that's more into Shane Dawson, because for me, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I watch makeup tutorials. I don't watch like, I guess he does conspiracy theory videos. I don't know, it's just someone I don't watch, so I'm not like, again, invested in the person. And same goes with Jeffree Star. I have Jeffree Star, I have a lot of his liquid lips, I have some of his palettes. For me, he's another one of those persons, kind of like with Tati, kind of like I said with the Jackie Aina palette, where I'll buy it for the color story. So the pictures I've seen so far of his samples, you know, when they had those pictures with like all his samples in a row, it didn't really like speak to me. I want to see the palette, like the actual palette, before I say a hard no or yes, but it's probably gonna be no. You know, when like he came out with Blue Blood, that was 100% for me because I like blue eyeshadow, so I had to get that. I like the original Blood Sugar, also love that color story, had to have it. But those are the only eyeshadow palettes I own from Jeffree Star, and then some of his liquid lips. I like to use his liquid lips as eyeshadow bases. I also have one on today because I like the colors. But again, for me, something with Jeffree Star, it has to be, for me, it's going to be more, is the color story good and the quality? Because if not, I'm not going to buy it just because it's Jeffree Star, because I don't really like him and I don't really watch his videos. So probably not, but we'll wait until I see the actual palette. So I can't say a hard yes or no. Okay, let's see. The next, I'm not gonna do like all of the ones. I'm gonna do the ones that would probably be most interesting to you guys. This is kind of interesting. Okay, so this is the Maybelline's coming out with a Dream Radiant Liquid. I have the newest Dream foundation they came out with that was in a squeeze tube. I can't remember what it's called. This one says it's more of a medium radiant coverage. I feel like this might be something like the ABH foundation based on how they're describing it. The color range is a complete fucking joke. Excuse my French. The color range is swaying me to probably not want to buy it because I think it's kind of like, what the hell? Like, and they do so good in terms of how they've really expanded like the Super Stay, which has a lot of color options now, and you can get them super dark and everything in between, all the way up to super light. So this is one of those things, and someone said it in the comments and I agree, you know, maybe a couple years ago, you know, when people weren't, like there wasn't a standard set in the beauty community at that point and work was still being done on like shade ranges and what was acceptable, you know, people would say like, oh, they're testing out the formula on the market first, and if it does well, then they expand the shade range. It's to a point now where like, if you don't have the color range, like you need to come out with a color range for the first time. You know, like Maybelline is a big enough company that they can come out with a full range and not worry about losing money, okay? It's not like there's some little indie brand that only has like a little bit of money to work with. They have enough money to do it right the first time. So it kind of makes me not want to try that. So that one I'm kind of on the fence about because it seems like it might be nice, but I really don't like the shade range. And to be completely honest, I mean, looking at these shades, I'm sure I could find something, but it would probably even be a challenge for me because everything looks fucking pink and anything that's neutral to yellow toned is like super light or really dark medium. So, I mean, someone like me might even, you know, not even everyone might be able to find a shade in this. So, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. The formula sounds nice, but I really hate that they came out with a shade range so shitty from the get-go. Okay, next up is this Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette, the Mercury Retrograde. So for me, this palette it's really pretty. The swatches look really good. The palette looks pretty. I love the shade choices. They're so nice. This is a really, really hard, maybe probably, because I really love the look of this palette. I'm going to have to swatch this one in person because the shade range is beautiful and they have some interesting colors in there. Probably some things I already have, but I really like the way her palettes are going recently, where she's doing this sort of like these nude colors, but not like your typical nude colors. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not like warm browns. It's sort of these like, you got your mauvey, pinky, almost like pastel-y nudes, if that makes sense. And then the really beautiful like dark blue in there, the teal in there. Of course, you've got some gold, typical gold colors. But I really love the direction she's going, especially with those new nude palettes. I went into a Sephora today and I actually looked at the light nude palette of the 3 ones they came out with. And I love the colors. And it took everything in me to not buy it, and I was going to almost buy it, and then I told myself not to. But this one is going to be difficult. The only thing that holds me back is that her big palettes are this one's $67, almost $70 for an eyeshadow palette, and that is where kind of that hard maybe comes in because it's really nice, but I think that's really expensive. For an eyeshadow palette, kind of like the ABH ones when they came out with those big ones. I looked at that one today too. The Volume 3 Norvina, I almost got that one too, but then I was like, $60 for this palette, that's so much money. And I think what's hard for me is when brands, you know, I've got a lot of eyeshadows. So when brands come out with really good eyeshadows that are cheaper, you have to have like such an amazing quality and color story to get me to pay a lot of money. It's kind of like the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette where feeling the formula in person wowed me enough to indulge in spending the money, and then using it and realizing how good it was made me keep it and not return it because there was a formulation that was like truly worth the money. I touched the ABH one today. I didn't feel like the formulation was truly worth that money. So it's going to depend if I touch this in person. Got to touch it in person. I don't buy things online most of the time. I got to touch this in person to know if I'm like truly going to want this one. I'm skipping over some, just so you guys know. I think I said it already, but just certain things that are kind of like boring or an obvious no or random, or they might be like a re-promote item that she's got in here. I'm just kind of skipping past those ones. Okay, next are these Alamar Cosmetics No Make eyelashes. Actually, if you look at this picture, it was me who sent her this update because as soon as I saw them, I wanted to make sure she posted them because I love Alamar. You guys know I've used their products a lot before. I love Alamar. Gabby's been a follower of mine for a while, and I followed her for a while, and so I really like to support everything her brand does because, you know, she's a good, really cool person. So I Alamar Cosmetics lashes. I already bought them actually. So they're on the way. I posted actually today on Instagram. They came out today. I got them today. I bought the bundle of all 4, so I'm gonna show you guys those. And then also I bought one of her blush trios and 2 of her lip products because I hadn't had a chance to get those yet. And so I kind of wanted to like round out my Alamar collection and add more of her products in. And so those are gonna be on the way soon, hopefully. And then I'm gonna do like a full face Alamar video with all those products. I'm really excited to do that for you guys and show you guys all the new styles of the lashes, because these are synthetic lashes that actually look beautiful. If you remember at the beginning of this video when I talked about the ABH lashes, they didn't stand out to me. They looked like very kind of typical, your basic kind of cookie cutter synthetic lashes that you could get from Ardell or whatever. These Alamar styles, especially if you look at them online, they're beautiful and they look like mink lashes, but they're not. And they're fluffy, they're multi-layered. You can see the multi-layers in them. So I love the look of these. These look very unique. The packaging is so beautiful and unique. I love that there's a different colored box for every style. I think it's so beautiful. She kills it with her packaging. So I'm very excited to get these. These are truly kind of like stand out to me. If I was gonna compare these obviously to the ABH ones versus this is a synthetic vegan lash that I am more drawn to over the ABH ones. All right, so this is gonna be my last one because all the pictures after this are products that I already talked about throughout this video and like the past posts that Sophie made of those products before they actually launched. So the last thing I'm gonna talk about is the KKW X Mario round 2. So there was like black and white photos of the palette and everything that they're doing kind of together. Can't really give 100% on this one yet because I don't see the colors. But again, as I've said throughout this video, this is gonna be something that I'm going to have to see the colors and fall in love with the color story because I'm not a big Kim Kardashian fan. Not that I don't like her, I'm just not a huge fan. And then same with Mario. I think his makeup style is really awesome and beautiful, but I don't think I follow him. I might, but I don't think I do. I never see his pictures if I do follow him. And again, I'm not like emotionally invested in either of them. So it would have to be something like super beautiful, crazy out there for me to buy it. I have a feeling it's not going to be, so it's probably not going to be something I get. I've never bought anything from her before. All of her stuff seems to be pretty neutral. I actually went today into Ulta and looked at her line because they had the end cap out finally at this Ulta near me, and I looked at the stuff, I swatched some things. I almost bought one of her lip liners, one of the nude lip liners, but then I was like, it's so like, I don't know, I probably already have it. And again, is it someone like I really want to invest my money in, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't end up getting it. So again, it'll probably be a no, but we'll have to see once the color story comes out how I feel about it. So overall, all of those things, I'm mostly getting none of them, which is not surprising. You guys know I'm not big on like always getting the new hotness as soon as it comes out. But from what I looked at, the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette is a almost yes, depending on swatches. I will maybe almost, I might be getting that. I looked for it today in Sephora, but it's not out yet. I might get that because it is a beautiful, unique palette. And then of course the Alamar lashes, I already bought them and a couple other things from them. And then the Jeffree Star Shane palette, again, gotta see the full palette once it's finalized to see, you know, if I'm going to get that because I do like his formula, but neither of them are people I'm really in love with and have any emotional connection to. So it's gonna have to be really great color story for me to wanna buy it. So yeah, that is it. I hope this wasn't negative. I didn't want it to be, but I just want to be honest with you about my opinions. I hope you like this. If you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye.